guys, welcome to Mrs. G's Sewing Space. I am glad that you have joined me today, and I hope you have enjoyed the two previous videos, the World's Simplest Bag and the Boxed Corner Bag. In this video we're going to make a similar bag using still the basic zippy bag instructions with the lining on the inside, except this time I'm adding a couple of pockets to the inside. Just two little extra pockets right there if I wanted to keep something separate or smaller objects so they don't get lost. If you wanted to use this as a jewelry bag, you can put your necklaces in the bottom and earrings or studs or tie tacks or whatever you want to use them for here in the side, or bracelets. So anyways, I wanted to share this with you as another variation of just a normal zipper bag, how you can make something fantabulous with it. And let me know what you think in the comments below about this one. Thanks!
Okay, for this bag, we are going to start out our zipper bag the same as it always is. We're going to have our two outside pieces, our two lining pieces, but because we're having a pocket on this one, we are going to have a second inside piece, and it's going to lie on top of the lining pieces and our zipper. I'm going to go ahead and move the zipper and our outer pieces aside, and I'm going to add the pocket to one of my lining pieces. Now what I did for this one, if you notice, it's not the same size as my regular lining piece, and what I did, I decided that I wanted a pocket 1.5 inches from the top. So 1.5 inches from the top. I took my second piece and I rolled and hemmed it. So I turned it under twice, and then I sewed a stitching line so that it would hold itself down. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to lie it on top. I'm going to make sure I'm lining up my edges. Now I have a little extra here, so I'll trim that off in just a minute. But I have it 1.5 inches from the top, so it's going to give me about 1/2 inch at the top, 1/4 inch at the top with seam allowance, and then it'll give me 1 inch from where the zipper will be to where my pocket's going to be. So I'm going to pin that in place. So now that I've got my pocket laying on top of my lining fabric that's going to go inside my zipper bag, and it's 1.5 inches from the top of my lining, I'm going to go back and I'm going to trim the bottom where it's a little too long. I decided I want my inside of my pockets to have 2 pockets. So I'm going to measure the middle, and I'm going to stitch a line of stitching right down the middle. So let's measure the middle. So my rectangle is about 8 1/4 inches. Yep, about 8 1/4. So that means my middle is going to be 4 1/8. So right there. Now I'm going to go up and I'm going to mark it again. So 4 1/8. Right there. And I'm using my Fine Point Disappearing Ink marker. It's air and water soluble, meaning that I'm making marks with it, but if I leave it there, the air will dry it out and the ink will disappear, or if I want it gone faster, all I have to do is spritz it with water and it'll disappear as it dries. So then I'm going to mark my line. Just like that. I'm going to mark it a little better so I can see where I'm supposed to be sewing it. And I'm actually going to, right here, I'm going to pin that right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim that off and get this ready. Okay, now that I have my pocket sewn onto my lining, I stitched down the middle right on this line, or in my case right beside the line. And like I said, I hemmed up the top layer right there, and I trimmed off the bottom, so now it all matches perfectly with this square right here. I'm going to go ahead and put my bag together just like I normally would do in my normal zippy bag. And for this particular bag, I'm not going to box the corners, so it's not going to be one of the standing up bags. It's just going to be a simple little zippy bag. If you want to box the corners, you can. Maybe I'll do a little box. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'll figure it out as I go along the process. So I'm going to put this all together, and I'll come back and we'll see how it looks at the end. Okay, well, for this particular bag, I didn't realize my camera was not recording, and so you missed me putting everything together. But if you've seen my other zipper bag videos, then you know I put it together the same way. The right sides together for the outside, the lining was put together for right sides together, and I sewed around, but I left a gap here in the lining so that we could flip it inside out. I made sure to leave my zipper 2/3 of the way open so that I could get over here to this side so we could flip it all inside out. And also a reminder that I do a 1/2 inch seam allowance down here at the bottom because you want your lining to be slightly smaller than the outside of your bag so it'll fit in there nicely. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to snip off, where are my scissors at? Here they are. I'm going to snip off my zipper. And you would not do this if you're using a zipper with metal teeth. You would not do this. You would have to take pliers and pry out the metal teeth. But with the plastic teeth, you can just snip it and you'll be fine. So there we go. So I've snipped them off, and I'm about to flip it inside out. I can't decide if I want to do box corners or not. Do I want to do another box corners? No, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, so if you want to do box corners, now's the time to do boxed corners, but I am not going to worry about that, so I'm just going to flip everything inside out. And you know, an easy way to do this, which I just remembered, is using a chopstick. So you want to use a chopstick. So this is how a simple way to flip out your corners. So you take your chopstick and you put it right here in the corner, right? Just like that. And you flip the fabric around the chopstick. Did you see how I did that? I've got one more corner to do. Then you kind of push it out into the corner. So I hold it here and then I push it through there. So there's my corner. And that gives you a nice little corner too. So now I can take both those corners and pull them out. Where'd that other corner go? Well, anyways, now you just got to pull it all out. There it is. So there's both those corners. Flip it all through, pull it all out. Okay, so I'm going to use my stick here and I'm going to pop out those corners right here. Oh, you know what? There's a step I forgot. You need to trim the corners, otherwise you'll get a big old knot of fabric in the corner there. So we're just going to like this. So where the seam intersects right here, I'm going to snip right above it. I know you can't see it because it's white fabric. So I'm going to use my marker right here. So right here and right here, that's my seam. So I snipped right above the X right there. So I don't want to snip through it because otherwise it'll cause a hole. But if I snip right over there, I cut off that extra fabric, and just like that, once you get it cut off, you won't have a big old knot of fabric right there. So I'm going to do that to the other side as well. So here's the other one. I'm going to do the same thing. And you know, thinking about it, I should have done it to this side as well. So I'm going to pop those back out because I'm showing all this stuff to you guys and totally forgot. Okay, so do the same thing to that one. Fold all that back in. Oh, see, that's a lot better. There's not the same amount of bulk right there. Okay, and do that one. Flip that back through. Oh, way better. Oh, yeah. See, sometimes when you sew, you get so ahead of yourself, you start skipping steps without meaning to until you get to the part where like, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to do something there. Alright, so here we go. So this one's all done. That one's all done. We're gonna unzip the rest of the bag here. Now is the time to iron. You want to iron your bag flat here. You see all the wrinkles that it managed to jump in there? So now is the time to iron. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to go on. Okay, so now I got my bag and I ironed it flat. And I decided I'm not going to do boxed corners, but still, even if you did boxed corners, make sure you iron everything before you flip your lining inside out. So now that I've got all that done, I'm going to flip, well, actually, haha, I still have to sew that up. So I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do that one by hand. Okay, so when you have a zipper, sometimes getting it to zip again, no matter what the zipper is a little difficult because it's so wide right here. So zip it up the best you can and then try to squeeze your teeth together right here towards the end. And it allows the zipper to catch on those teeth. And then once it catches, you can zip with no problem. So there we go. So we have a finished bag. We have 2 little pockets on the inside. And there you go. Now you can get in, get out, and do whatever it is you want to do. And so there we go. So that's a bag with 2 inner pockets.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope my instructions were clear and that you guys were able to figure out what I was trying to get at. And I hope you find many uses for the videos that we have so far, these 3 videos. And I hope you guys are having a good time with this stuff. Please let me know if you have any questions or anything going on that you need to know about. Put them in the comments below so we can start a discussion, or ask your questions so I can answer them. And as always, I would love it if you guys gave this video a thumbs up, like my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and also share the information with your friends. Let's spread the love of sewing to everybody. And I will see you in the next video.